Welcome, my friends, to the most spirited season of them all. I am your host, your ghost host.
Happy Halloween!
Welcome to a special episode of Expedition Magic Kingdom. In this first Halloween-themed expedition, we'll be taking a look at the really not-so-scary family event, Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween Party. Before we take a look at this ever-growing seasonal event, we must first go back and take a look at the Halloween offerings Walt Disney World had before it decided to open Magic Kingdom's doors to have its first Halloween party in 1995.
Glad you're here. Climb on board and we'll show you around. Watch your step now.
It's hard to imagine a time when from the end of August until the first week of November, Main Street USA at Magic Kingdom would not be covered in pumpkins. However, there was a time when Halloween wasn't celebrated at all in the park. The reason the park originally did not celebrate Halloween is that back in 1970s, when Magic Kingdom first opened, Main Street USA, the park's entry street leading up to Cinderella's castle, was designed and decorated to be the 4th of July every day. Imagineers originally did not want to be celebrating two holidays in the exact same place and did not want to confuse guests by having Halloween theming. This doesn't mean though that there were no Halloween events at the resort. In 1975, the Lake Buena Vista shopping village opened, previously known as Downtown Disney and now Disney Springs, but we'll get to that on another expedition. Disney were looking at ways to encourage Central Florida locals to come out and sample the new shops and restaurants that had just opened, and one of the more successful ways to attract locals was the Village Halloween Party. The idea behind the event was to encourage vacationers and locals to head down to Lake Buena Vista in costume and go trick-or-treating from store to store. This was a good way to keep the kids happy and force the escorting parents into Disney's new stores. Roughly in the same time period in the mid-1970s, Walt Disney World's on-site resorts such as the Contemporary were also hosting Halloween parties for its guests. The Ballroom of the Americas, located inside the Contemporary Hotel in 1976, hosted that resort Halloween party, which was just one of the offerings. Towards the end of the 70s, occasionally the Magic Kingdom would host a one-off hard-ticketed event held on or around the 31st of October. In 1979, Magic Kingdom hosted Halloween Hysteria on the 27th and 28th of October, which featured musical performances by Dr. Hook, and also The Police after the park had closed. The event ran from 9 PM until 1:30 AM and had the bands playing 3 sets at the Tomorrowland Terrace. It would still be another 16 years before the first Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween party would take place. And while the resort still offered some Halloween events, no Halloween celebration was on the horizon. What did happen though during the 80s was the successful introduction of a different seasonal event, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Beginning in 1983, this one-night event in December slowly grew to 3 nights, and managed to draw the crowds in the slower cold season back to Walt Disney World.
Oh, a very Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome to Walt Disney World's Very Merry Christmas Parade.
Disney World officials, after seeing the success of the Christmas party, wondered if a Halloween event would encourage hotel guests and Florida locals to visit the parks after dark in October. Down the road at Universal Studios, the park had seen the success of its horror-themed separate ticketed event, Fright Nights, in 1991. The following year, in 1992, the event would be renamed to Halloween Horror Nights. The success of the local competitors event is claimed to also have had an impact on the idea of Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween Party, which would offer a more traditional family atmosphere as opposed to Universal's fright-centered event. Just like Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, the Halloween event would start small, operating for just one night on Halloween of 1995 for $16.95 per person. The after-hours event would offer trick-or-treating for guests and encourage people to attend in costumes. By 1997, the event grew to 2 nights, and by the year 2000, the event was expanded to 3 nights. The ever increasingly popular event would expand quickly due to great word of mouth and the excitement of trick-or-treating around Magic Kingdom. By 2005, the event was held for over 15 nights, and saw the introduction of staples of the event, the Boo to You Parade, and the special not-so-scary fireworks show, HalloWishes. Other features of the event are the chance to meet Disney villains such as Maleficent, regular meet and greets in special Halloween costumes, special Villainous stage shows, and the chance for the entire family to dress up in costume for the event and collect bagfuls of candy. Prior to 2005, the fireworks show at the event would be a revival of the classic fireworks show Fantasy in the Sky, which ended in 2003, with a special 3-minute Halloween-themed finale featuring the Old Witch from Snow White.
You foolish moth! How dare you try to take this one evening of haunting away from me and all my kind?
HalloWishes, the incredibly popular firework display and not so scary since 2005, was created by Stephen Davison and Eric Tucker, who also designed Wishes, Holiday Wishes, and Illuminations at Epcot. Its full title is Happy HalloWishes, a grim grinning ghost spooktacular in the sky, and it is loosely based on the Haunted Mansion ride, but also includes vocal appearances from other Disney villains. The soundtrack is all Halloween themed and features such songs as Grim Grinning Ghost from Haunted Mansion, This Is Halloween from Nightmare Before Christmas, and Poor Unfortunate Souls from The Little Mermaid. The spectacular ends with the Scream-Along finale featuring 360-degree fireworks surrounding the entire park.
Everybody scream! Happy, happy Halloween!
If you haven't seen it, it truly is quite an epic sight and one of my favourite displays the resort offers.
Ladies and gentlemen, bats and ghouls, Mickey, Minnie, and all their friends have come together at this spookiest time of year to say boo to you as they proudly present the not-so-scary Mickey's Boo to You Halloween Parade!
The other centerpiece of the event is the Boo to You Halloween Parade. There was a Halloween-themed parade prior to the introduction of the Boo to You Parade, which featured costume characters in their Halloween outfits.
In the air, you better pay attention, you better beware. You never know when a ghost will appear out of the mist and the atmosphere.
However, this parade featured a new iconic soundtrack and different floats. Boo to You Parade starts with a ride through the streets by none other than the Headless Horseman himself on a real horse, and features various Disney characters in their Halloween costumes. Not just traditional characters appear in the parade, as live-action hitchhiking ghosts from the Haunted Mansion also feature. With a catchy musical number, the parade is not to be missed, but watch out for the gravediggers and their shovels.
I smell children!
Children!
There are so many of them and they're dressed funny. Fools! Of course there are...
One of the bigger changes to the event's lineup of offerings over the years was the introduction of the Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular, replacing the Disney Villains Mix and Mingle.
Chance only comes around once in a year. For all our green ghoulish friends to appear. We're going to trick, not treat. Go from door to door. You're sure to see something never seen before.
Hosted by Dr. Facilier on the Castle Forecourt stage. The Hocus Pocus show debuted in 2015, hosted by the Sanderson sisters from the 1993 comedy horror film Hocus Pocus, and features other villains such as Oogie Boogie, Maleficent, and again Dr. Facilier. In 2018, the event continues to expand. with a massive 34 dates operating from August 17th to the 31st of October. Halloween at Walt Disney World starts more in the summer than it does in the fall. With all of the usual attractions open, a dose of Halloween theming, and no fast passes available, the crowds for the event are more concerned with a special offering, so the queues for the rides are usually smaller. The longest lines are often for the unique meet and greets such as Jack Skellington and Sally. It is said that over 250 tons of candy will be given out in total over the duration of the event, so if you do attend, make sure to grab one of the free bags to fit some of it in. Mickey's Not So Scary is now the only time adults can also dress up and attend the Magic Kingdom with the kids, though they do have to follow a strict line of guidelines, else admission could be refused. The 2018 event is also introducing 2 new additions to the haunted overhaul of the park, with Space Mountain rideable with a new spooky soundtrack and additional special effects, as well as live actors inside Pirates of the Caribbean on the hunt for Gunpowder Pete. It may start in August, but Central Florida is ready for Halloween. Thank you for joining us on this week's expedition. If you enjoyed it and would like to join us on future expeditions, consider subscribing to join along. What do you think of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party? Is it worth the money for this spooktacular party? Is it worth it just for the candy alone? Let us know in the comments below, and a special thank you to our Patreons for supporting the channel. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter for updates on upcoming expeditions, and we will see you next time.